Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today the third Carina challenge went live and this one was Abyss Path Heroes. Realistically, I guess objectively the easiest challenge because I did it completely itemless. And I decided not to do it with Sentry because in my testing about I actually had made it to Collector and had chipped down like Collector down to 10%. And realized, I could have done it with Sentry, but it was kind of boring. And I was streaming when the challenge went live, so I decided to go a team with no Sentry in it. And I'm going to share my path and the fight breakdown here. And I decided to go for the short path. With Sentry, I went for the easy path. Without, I went for the short one. My team was Captain Britain, Medusa, Doctor Strange, Human Torch, and Magneto, House of X. Magneto really isn't needed either. I suppose it makes Collector fight a bit easier, but he goes stun immune later anyways. Right, so Darkhawk is Medusa. Very simple. You just armor shatter him. He never gains any power. And then the trick to do this fight faster is throw your level 3 only when your armor shatter is about to expire, because his armor phase that is active once you knock him down, not only the auto block, it also reduces your damage. So you just kind of try to knock him down as few times as possible, really, to maximize out your damage. And therefore, so this was 0 revives. And well, everything is 0 revives, but I'm gonna note it down anyways. Right. Then on Luke Cage, I used Captain Britain. The trick here to make the fight easier for yourself is when his unstoppable and unblockable activates, want to make sure he has slow on him, because then unblockable will activate, unstoppable will not activate, and it pauses the timer. And that means for the rest of the fight, you're effectively dealing with unblockable Luke Cage, but that's kind of easy. And then you just try to avoid intercepting and, use Relic or use special attacks accordingly to make sure that after every one of your combos, he has enough power to throw a special attack, then go in and punish that. But Captain Britain made a quick work of that Luke Cage. Captain Britain's very nukey for this and very fun, by the way. Many of the fights are over in like 2 minutes. Okay, Old Man Logan, I just used Medusa. I could have used Human Torch. I think I could have used Captain Britain, but the thing with old version of Old Man Logan is he's not reducing the bleed potency or not immune to bleeds. He reduces the duration of the bleeds, but Medusa has infinite duration bleeds, and it was a very straightforward fight with Medusa. Just make sure your armor shatter doesn't fall off, and Despair took care of the regen. And then we have Havok. You can use Medusa against Havok. The amount of burst damage that you take from him is kind of negligible. You still want to push him to level 2s ideally, but other than that, it's kind of straightforward Medusa fight. Dormammu was Human Torch. Obviously, try your best to avoid dexing, and other than that, the Mystic, he go down fast. Joe Fixit was a Captain Britain nuke. Very fun fight. I personally enjoy it. Then for Mordo, Human Torch, I didn't activate Magneto House of X pre-fight, but I would recommend it doing here, because you do have a couple of spare ones, and kind of why not? Because then you can parry him rather than block bait heavy stuff. So to make the fight easier, use Magneto House pre-fight here, and then you have less to worry about. When I'm back against Doctor Strange, again with Doctor Strange, the biggest problem is too much power kind of thing. But in order to bypass that, you throw your level 3 and then spam your level 1s once you're fully ramped up. And that tended to work fine. Not the quickest fight, but nothing crazy. Overdock, Medusa, again, kind of straightforward fight initially. You do want to throw a bunch of heavy attacks, but I even started fighting normally before I had gotten rid of all the indestructible charges, just so I can stack up more bleeds, really. And yeah, that was it. Just Medusa, Armor Shatter, as many bleeds as I can get. Hyperion, Doctor Strange, there's like 0 issue. If one note here, is that once in a while you do want to throw your level 2 with your armor phase active in order to inflict your withers, just in case you don't nullify that power gain buff to make sure that you can be more aggressive. And that's about it. So don't need to worry about unstoppable at all. Here you go. Champion was Doctor Strange, again to make it fight easier, just push him to level 2s. If you do that, he's basically never going unstoppable, and you're good to go. Cyclops, quite fun fight. I used Captain Britain. The thing that you need to remember is you need to alternate in between parrying the special attack and then dexing the special attack. And at that point, if you do keep that in mind, it's kind of like a very straightforward fight. Quite fun. Loki was super easy with Human Torch because you do not rely on special attacks. The key to this fight is not to rely on special attacks. Then Aegon was Doctor Strange, just the buffs, tons of bursting down. Aegon reduces your ability accuracy on basic hits by 100%. So key here is special attack spam or champions who, do not rely on any effects whilst you strike your opponent. Then we have Invisible Woman. I just use Captain Britain, super quick nuke. Cull Obsidian. Doctor Strange absolutely melts him because he takes 1% damage whenever you nullify one buff on him. But Doctor Strange plays his own buffs and nullifies them, so it was very, very fast. And then Nameless Collector, I actually ended up soloing with Captain Britain as well. And yeah, just kind of play slowly because obviously 7-star health pools are like huge compared to when the content was made, so you can take infinite hits and block basically. I did activate Magneto House of X pre-fight here. And yeah, Captain Britain, try pick one of your level 1 slows, and when you do that, try not to refresh it or not to throw level 1 again, because if that slow sticks, the fight, you can be immediately much more safe and aggressive. And other than that, yeah, just kind of play carefully. It was a bit messy fight, but in the end, we still got that solo in. So overall, completely itemless run. You can replace Doctor Strange with a plethora of mystics, by the way. The reason why I took Doctor Strange in was mainly because he's very good for the collector with special spam, not relying on striking him. But I didn't end up using him for collector at all. So if I brought in Kushala, my run probably would have been quicker because Kushala is faster for the path cosmics. So that is a good suggestion. Nico Minoru here is fine. Longshot here is fine as well. Magneto House of X is not also absolutely needed. And you can use a bunch of different champions instead if you feel like you would want to. When it comes to replacing Human Torch, because I know a lot of people will want to replace Human Torch, most of the science champions will do fine. Like you can use somebody like, I know, Spider-Ham's probably perfectly adequate champion to bring in because he doesn't rely on special attacks to do damage. I think for the most part you can also use somebody like Hulk or Photon. You should be okay. I'm sure there are more options than that. Blue Marvel, but Blue Marvel might be a bit iffy against Loki. But should do okay-ish too. So yeah, Human Torch can absolutely be replaced by a bunch of science champions as well. As you guys kind of noticed, my MVPs were largely Captain Britain and Medusa. And then again, Doctor Strange can be replaced by most mystics. That can be replaced by more science. And that's kind of like the good thing about Abyss Run, because even Captain Britain isn't a must. She didn't do any like super high specialty fights. She was just like an absolute nuke that they ended up using. You can use different high damage output champions for this instead. Medusa is kind of harder to replace, to be honest, because she did do several functions. Because she, number one, does Darkhawk. I suppose Hulkling can do Darkhawk. But then also, she dealt with regeneration here. Again, if you do have somebody with Despair Mastery, you can just use that instead here. Then we did Havok again, so she didn't do energy damage. So again, I suppose Hulkling can do this. What else did we use Medusa for? We used Medusa for Overdock. Again, that's kind of whatever fight. You can use most champions. I just didn't want to use Captain Britain there because of the class disadvantage. And yeah, so I guess you can bring in Hulkling as well if you want instead of Medusa. You have that. But yeah, that was my team. That was my plan, and very nice kind of chill run. And now, at some point, I need to put together a team for villains. But that should also be quite easy. Right. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have already mentioned